So it looks like everyone is back. I hope you had an opportunity
We
to hear.
can't hear you.
Can you all hear me?
I
Okay.
can.
I
Yes,
think
I
you
can
might
hear
need
you.
to check your volume, dear.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, my microphone says I'm on. All right, so I'm hoping that you all had an opportunity to meet some people that are going to be joining you in this community to hear some of their hopes and dreams, hopes and dreams that are similar to what yours might be. And yeah, I know, I'm sorry. So hopefully hopes and dreams that will be similar to what some of yours are, and some different, right? To see that as a community, we have similarities and we have differences, but our main goal is to do what's best for all of our scholars. So again, I wanted to welcome you guys back. I do want to just a quick, we call this a waterfall. Ms. Broussard, don't get me, okay? A waterfall exercise for those of you all who have access to your chat. If you have access to your chat, if you are driving, do not do what I'm about to tell everyone to do right now, okay? I want you to think about how you reported out your hopes and dreams for your student. Hold on, let me change my chat. Okay, I want you to think about what you reported out for your student as far as your hopes and dreams. I want you to listen to this part. Do not hit enter. I'm going to tell you that first, okay? I want you to type your hopes and dreams into the chat so it can be shared with anyone, but don't hit enter yet. Please don't hit enter, okay? Everybody's going to do it at the same time when I say go. And it'll all come in and be like waterfall. Get it? Waterfall, right? So just type it. Think about what that looks like for you, why you're here. You know, we are a choice school and a school of choice. Why are you choosing Excel? What is it that you're hoping for your scholar to get and for your family to get being a part of our school community? Let's give you all a couple of minutes to think about that. With Jeopardy music, I won't be doing that. I said it, I won't be doing it, really. Someone commented that it would have helped to have been in the same grade. That would have been helpful. I don't have you all separated by grade at this time. However, I promise that since that suggestion came up, when we have our next meeting next week, I can add you. Somebody hit enter. I can utilize that for a breakout group next week. Not next week, because not next week, but the next meeting. Okay. All right. So since it looks like some of us are ready, go ahead and hit enter. And let's see what your hopes and dreams are. Some of these are coming up direct message. Some of them are coming up general. Okay. All right. No problem. No problem. Some of these came directly to me, and so I'm going to post them out to the group so you can see them as well. That's one that came to me. They're moving. Here we go. Here's another one that came to me. Here's another one. And you may look and see what someone else posted, and you can say, oh, yes, I want that too, you know, just to give you an idea again of what people are looking for. It also helps me, it helps us so that we will know how to, no problem. Okay, good job. How to meet your needs. And we're not going to know what your needs are or what your wants are unless we find out. So thank you for participating in this activity. Let's see. I hear we have some Suitland Rams in the house. That's what I heard. Um, let's see if there's anything else. Okay. All right. So those are our hopes and dreams. And of course, as you think of more, you feel free to put them in the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So again, my name is Ms. Southern. I am the principal of Excel Academy. I'm going to stop running my mouth. I'm going to give our administrator, Ms. Reese, an opportunity to introduce herself. And then we can go from there. So Ms. Reese, take it away.
Oh, good evening, everyone. To my new family members that were in the breakout room, you hear my speech again, because I did introduce myself. I am Mrs. Reese. I am the academic facilitator, middle school administrator. Ms. Southern and I, we do tend to share responsibilities, even though one may say elementary, one may say middle school. We are one in the building. Sometimes we just have one focus over the other. However, we're still one in the building. I've had the opportunity to call Excel my home for the past 12 years. I've been in the county over 20 years. I love what I do. I love working with the students, staff, and families as well. More than likely, you'll see me outside, definitely in the afternoons with dismissal duty. I am not the parking lot attendant. I am telling you now, I am telling you firsthand. There have been families that have asked me over the years, what do you do? Because they see me standing outside, directing traffic, taking kids to the cars, and they really think that I just come up there and work in the parking lot. I'm not the parking lot attendant. However, if you need assistance, I am the parking lot attendant, administrator, whatever you may need. I like to make sure that I'm engaging with families, making sure that you're doing okay, that your children are doing okay. Because if you're okay and the kids are okay, then we all okay. But if not, then we need to come together to figure out how to make everything okay. I welcome you to the Excel family because you are part of our growing family. So I say welcome to you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Yes, she is not the parking lot attendant, y'all. So please, when you see her, make sure. People are so sweet and they don't know. And, sometimes they'll see her in the parking lot and people, emotions get high in parking lots, right? People get frustrated. And then when they call and they're like, oh, that was you. Yes, that was her. So my name is Ms. Southern. Just real quickly, like Ms. Reese, I've been in Prince George's County Public School for over 20 years. I'm going into my 27th year in the school system. I was in the classroom for 16 years. I've been an administrator for 7, just finished my 7th year as an administrator. And I'm going into my 5th year as principal of Excel Academy. So I want to publicly thank Ms. Reese for being here with me to help. It's good to have someone who's been in the building that kind of helps you with like a lot of the institutional knowledge to help you navigate some things. She also helped me get used to being with middle schoolers because that wasn't my zhuzh when I came in. So she had to tell me, no, they're like big kids. They're just, bigger. But have really enjoyed myself and love what we do. So very quickly, because the time is moving and I'm glad you had an opportunity again to meet each other, I just closed my presentation. I do have a presentation for you guys that is very generic, very high level up here. I know you have 150,000 questions, and so I'm going to be here. This is why I made your meeting at the end. I met with my new teachers earlier, new staff this morning, but I figured that you all would have more detailed questions that, needed to be answered. And so I wanted to have you all come during this time so that whatever questions you have, as much as we can, we can answer those questions for you. So let me share my screen very quickly. And here we go. This does this every time. Ooh, okay. All right. So welcome to Excel Academy Public Charter School. Some of you all may have been a part of our virtual open houses. You might have come to see us at Oxon Hill High School. You may have even been a part of our in-person tour, but this is your official as parents of Excel. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we welcomed you here. Nice to meet you. We did introductions already, so we're going to continue on. So this is the big piece. You're in a charter school. So what? What makes a charter school so different from a regular comprehensive school? So I wanted to just go over a few things so that you'll kind of get a better context on how we operate and what makes us different from other more, comprehensive schools. So a charter, when you talk about a charter school, a charter is just another word for a contract. So for those of you all who contract out with people for services, this is exactly what we have here. It is a contract that's signed between our charter operator, which is Seed Inc., that's the nonprofit that is our operator, and Prince George's County Public Schools. Seed Inc. says we're going to provide education for your students, and we're going to do A, B, C, D, and E. And Prince George's County Public Schools says, okay, we want you to do A, B, C, D, and E because our community is asking for that. So we're going to give you the money that it takes for you to do A, B, C, D, and E. But we're going to hold you accountable for doing the A, the B, the D, the C, and the E, if that makes sense, right? So it's almost like like I said, it's like a contract, like a vendor that you service out, but a little bit more connected. It is a legally binding contract. Prince George's County Public Schools provides funds to our operator in the form of a per pupil allotment. We get a certain number of dollars per student based on the number of students that we say we're going to have in the building for a particular year. We just renewed our charter this year. Yay! Prince George's County Public Schools gave us an additional 3 years to fulfill the agreement. We are, for those who all do not know, we are the longest operating charter school in Prince George's County. No other charter school that is functioning right now has been operating longer than Excel. So if you hear about charter schools nationally, one of the concerns is that, they start and then they're gone within like 5 to 7 years. That's not us. We've been around for a long time. We continue to be around and we plan to be around even longer than that. Okay. But there's a period, within that. So you can either have a 3-year charter or a 5-year charter. So we have a 3-year charter for this year. We will renew again in 2026. So 3 years from now. As a charter school, there are 2 levels of responsibility. Seed Inc., who's our operator, they have a responsibility, and their responsibility is, of course, funding what we need. Our charter, I'm going to say this right because I feel like my DC accent is coming out very strongly. Our charter operator will provide, you need furniture, you need books, you need digital platforms, you need devices. They pay for it, okay? Because of course the county gives them the money. You need teachers, you need a principal and an academic facilitator. Seed Inc. pays for that because the district gave them the money to do that. But our school pays for things. If you're familiar, if some of you all I see are Prince George's County Public Schools employees, we meaning Excel, we pay for things that most schools don't. Pay for our own books. We pay the water bill. We pay the light bill. We pay mortgage and or rent. Right now we're paying rent because we're renting out the building that we're in. So those funds are come through the funding that the school district gives the school. The operator is also responsible for the academic programming. Every school in the state of Maryland is responsible for meeting the Maryland State academic standards, the Maryland State Standards for Education, but the charter schools have the leeway to determine what is the path to get there. If this is the goal, what direction are you going to go in to get to these goals? And so there's autonomy in being able to do that and determine what that looks like. The operator is also responsible for operations and management, making sure the building is available, making sure it's clean, security, things of that nature fall under the auspices of the operator. And then also there is governance, just like there's a Board of Education for Prince George's County Public Schools. There's a board for our charter. They meet every other month and they implement the things that help keep our school running. So on the Prince George's County Public Schools side, the district, the school district is considered our LEA, or Local Education Association. In the state of Maryland, every charter school falls under the Local Education Association, which is Prince George's County Public Schools. So unlike Washington, D.C., Florida, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Louisiana, most states that have a charter school law, the school itself is its own local education association. They don't have to answer to the district. They get funding from the district, but they get to set up their own policies, their own procedures, their own salary scale. All of that happens in these other states. The state of Maryland has written a law stating that the autonomy of the charter school only goes so far, and the school district is still responsible for these other areas. So what is Prince George's County Public Schools responsible for? They're responsible for implementing the policies and procedures, and the charter schools, we as a charter school, follow all of the PGCPS policies and procedures, the grading procedure, the attendance procedures, anything that has to do with the laws, rights, and responsibilities of students, staff, and property in the school district. We follow the same procedures. They also are responsible for monitoring the implementation of the charter, making sure that the operator is doing the things that they stated they would do within that charter. And then there's another piece, I wasn't quite sure how to add this in. All of the students in the charter school are considered Prince George's County Public School students, and they have all of the right and privileges there too. To some extent, I'm gonna just let you know that right now, because certain things based on funding, because remember, we get our own funding. Based on funding, there are some programs that our students don't have access to, some programs that our students don't have access to that students in comprehensive schools do. And that really kind of sorted itself out during COVID with ESSER funds and things of that nature, but that's kind of coming to an end. Some of the summer programs and offerings, some things our students do have access to and some things they don't. School schedule, days in school, days off, snow days, that's all PGCPS. So we don't have anything separate. If they say code yellow, students have a 2-hour delay, you don't have to call and say, do you have a 2-hour delay? No, we have a 2-hour delay because that's what Prince George's County Public Schools is doing. So the students are PGCPS students, the teachers, staff, and faculty are Prince George's County Public Schools employees as well. So again, we are required to follow all of the policies and procedures and have all of the rights and privileges there too as well. Okay. All right. If you have questions along the way, please write them down. And please don't put them in the chat yet. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask those questions as we transition and move along. All right, so we have 3.5 big rocks for this year. And I just wanted to give this to you because you're going to be hearing a lot of this as we are going along, but we have 3 areas of academic focus that we are kind of honing in on and making sure that we're all on the same team, speaking the same language. And so when students start coming home and talking about the mathematical practices that are the focus for our building, you won't be out of the loop. What are they talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean when you're talking about modeling with mathematics, right? So our first big academic focus is mathematics. That's across the board in Prince George's County Public Schools. Every school is focusing in on and honing in on mathematics skills and strategies, particularly as it relates to problem solving, as it relates to their reasoning, as it relates to how they talk about their problem solving verbally, and how they show it on paper, whether it's a picture of how they solve the problem, or whether they're writing, I solved this problem by, doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, that is the big focus for us. It looks different from grade to grade because, of course, developmentally, students are able to do different things. But at every single solitary grade level, from birth through 12th grade, students are able to do all of these things to some extent. Okay, so that's one focus. Also down here in mathematics, I want you to attend to the vocabulary development. We have something called Tier 2 and Tier 3 vocabulary. Tier 2 vocabulary are considered like high frequency words that may mean multiple things. Instead of saying, I had a good time, that's a Tier 1 word. But if your student says, I had a fabulous time, oh, that's a Tier 2 word. Okay, we want to move our students towards using more Tier 2 language. I have an early childhood background, and I used to teach kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. And so there were certain words that in my classroom, when I taught, we put those words to bed, or we sent them away, never to be seen again. Words like bad, it was bad, it was nice, it was good, I liked it. We're not going to use this word. Let's come up with a different word that may mean that, but gives it more description. So as you're working with your students, I'm kind of eliciting that type of language and vocabulary with that is helpful at home, because you are reinforcing what we're doing in school. And a lot of that really comes through lots and lots of reading, right? Whether they're reading to you or you're reading to them, it doesn't matter how old your child is. They could be in high school. There's always value in reading aloud to your child. And since we're talking about reading, Lord have mercy. See how dramatic I tried to be, and then it just didn't work. I went backwards. Our next, that was supposed to be the segue to the next slide, which is reading. So what we noticed with our students is that our students had challenges with citing text evidence. Little Latanya is, talking about what she read. Latanya, talk to me about what you read, or tell me what when you read this book about weather, what did it say a cloud is? And little Latanya could say, well, a cloud is, a collection of rain droplets. And so as the educator, I'm going to ask little Latanya to show me where that is in your book. Cite the evidence, rephrase it, or find a direct quotation. And so then little Latanya will have to go back and say, on page 24, the text says, clouds are droplets of rain that gather in the atmosphere, blah, 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 whatever that is. So being able to not just say and, throw something out there, being able to actually go back and reference the text where we find it. Again, that's a skill that can be used and can be utilized definitely from pre-K all the way through 12th grade, and it looks different developmentally depending on the grade level, right? Again, in reading, the vocabulary development, because we're not just developing vocabulary in mathematics, but we're developing it not just for reading the content area, but in every content area: mathematics, science, social studies, health, technology, right? Music, art. We're developing those tier 2 and tier 3 words across the board because reading is important, not just for reading's sake, but we need it as a skill in life. And so that's why those skills and strategies are going to show up in every content area. Again, with the dramatics, Latanya. All right. The next one is writing. So we talked about mathematics, we talked about reading. Now we're going to writing. And for writing, we're really looking at how students express themselves through writing. Earlier, when we talked about mathematics, we talked about how students reason, because you're reasoning in anything, whether it's math, science, social studies, reading, you reason here, and it goes from here in your brain to coming out of your mouth. So we definitely want to develop that verbal language. But then once it comes out of here, we need to transition it from the mouth to the pencil. And I'm saying pencil on purpose, okay? From the mouth to the pencil, where they're actually able to take the thoughts and translate that on paper. That becomes a disconnect for some students, where you can ask a student, well, tell me how you solved that problem, specifically talking about it in mathematics. And they can tell you every single solitary step they made. And then when you say, okay, write that down, it's like blank stare. Okay, so we're wanting to make sure that we have that disconnect, again, not just in reading, language arts, in the content areas, but across the board. Do they understand what it is that the text was telling them? Are they able to convey accurate ideas and examine them? Is their writing clear and coherent? Are they presenting their ideas clearly and logically, right? And then we're looking at writing conventions. Okay, for those of you all who remember, a long time ago, everybody say long time ago, a long time ago, when I first started teaching, there was a movement away from making writing conventions important and really looking at the content of what students were saying. Okay, well, it doesn't matter if they don't spell it correctly, if they don't use all of the right, mechanics, periods, and things of that nature, as long as you understand what the child is saying. And even back then, I was like, I don't care what you say, my students are going to do A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z. And guess what ended up happening? We moved away from that, and we're back to what makes sense, which is making sure the students have a mastery of writing conventions. Yes, you do need to put spaces between your words. Yes, you do need to use correct grammar in English. Yes, your sentences have to be varied. You can't be in the 5th grade saying, I like to read, I like to write, I like to jump, I like to run. That's not developmentally appropriate for a 5th grader. So helping them pull that out and massage that and see what that looks like, so that they can bring some variety to their sentence structure. And of course, having an effective use of grammar and mechanics. And that's not a strong area for everyone, because many of us came from that time period when it wasn't a focus, but we're back to it. So just know, again, as you are engaging and speaking with your child, exposure is going to give them the most bang for their buck. So that's a lot of reading aloud, and having them read as well. And another piece is you turn on the closed captioning on your favorite TV shows. Trying to tell you, it'll work, it'll help. So that's writing. So those are the 3 big rocks. This is a 0.5 because it affects part of the building, impacts part of the building, but not all of the building right now. Okay, this next one, the academic focus, is the International Baccalaureate Program. At Excel Academy, our IB program officially is, we are applying for authorization this year. And so right now we have the primary years program, which spans grades K through 4, but we're using many of the concepts across the board. And so this just gives a brief synopsis of what the primary years program is. It is a transdisciplinary approach, meaning all of the content areas kind of mix and meld together to help students approach solving problems in their world. It's very student-centered. We want students to have agency with the decisions on how they approach learning. Responsible action is at its core. How do I make the world better? It's a global approach. What do I do? What can I do in my own world to make things better for other people who aren't necessarily a part of my community or who might be? And so it just talks about how we're enabling students to learn between, across, and beyond traditional subject boundaries. Again, this is a snapshot. It's not the whole kit and caboodle, right? We can talk more in more detail about what that will look like in our building, because with our big transition, there's going to have to be a lot of relearning for our new staff members. And so we're setting those norms so that we can move forward, okay? Also for International Baccalaureate, a little bit more information about the key elements. Again, I said it's a global focus. It is internationally minded. There is an IB learner profile, things that we want all students to be able to do. That IB learner profile is actually present K through 8, because the goal is for us to be an IB school all the way through middle school. So there are some pieces of it that we're implementing in every grade level, not just K through 4. It is a broad, balanced, conceptual, and connected curriculum. And that's what we're doing with our curriculum, and making sure that we connect things. And it's focused on different approaches to teaching and learning. It's an approach. It's not a curriculum. It is an approach to teaching. Okay. All right. So now, the big move. So yes, we are still on track to being in our new building in August. Right now, the target date is somewhere between August the 1st and August the 15th. August the 15th is the last day that we would be moving. August the 1st is Miss Southern's favorite hopeful day that we will be moving, because of course, the earlier we can get in, the earlier we can set up and make sure that we're ready in time to receive your babies when they come. But we're going to do what is safe for us to do. We are completely and totally on time. We had a wonderful, mild winter with no snow days, which made sure that we did not get impeded with the construction in any way. Many of you may have seen some of the walkthroughs that were posted on our social media pages and things of that nature. If you did not, I can send you a link so that you can see some of those as well on Instagram and on Facebook. I just cut up. It was a trip. It was hilarious. Anyway, but we had a good time. It's beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. I believe that every child has a right to be inside of a beautiful building. It's a beautiful building. So I'm very excited for us, but I'm excited for your children as well. But even with that, look at me very closely. Everybody say this with me. Manage your expectations. Repeat that, por favor.
Manage your expectations.
Come on, Jesus. Yes. Good job, class. Manage your expectations, because it is a big move. We're moving a whole entire building. We're transitioning in stop laughing at me, Ms. Broussard. New furniture, new students, new families, new teachers. I mean, it's a big transition for us. And so although we are already a school and have some things together, we're going to be having to put structures and systems in place as we are transitioning in the building. And to some extent, once we get into the building, right? So some things we're going to be figuring out as we transition, but we should be mostly settled in by the end of September or the middle of October. Now, listening? Okay. So we are moving, everyone is moving into the building in one phase. But while we're in one section of the building, another section of the building is going to be in process to be completed by the time we return back from spring break. That section of the building is going to eventually house, our middle school classes, which means that when we first move in, some of our babies are going to be in rooms that aren't necessarily classrooms. They're rooms inside the building, but not necessarily classrooms from the beginning until that transition happens. So this is the example that I use. When you move into a new house, when people move into a new house, if you've had that experience, that's not been my experience, but praise God, one day it will be. You move into a new house and you purchase the house, but the basement isn't finished, right? And so auntie, because I have an auntie who lives with me, auntie's moving in with you because you have a multi-generational house like we do. But auntie's bedroom is supposed to be in the basement, but the basement isn't finished. So in the meantime, auntie has to be in a room that's not necessarily a bedroom, but can house her temporarily until the basement is finished and she can move into her permanent space. Does that make sense? So I don't want, when we come into the building and people like, they said this building was going to be finished. What is going on? I'm telling you up front, it's going to be finished enough for us to move in, but it won't be completely 100% finished until we get back from spring break. So I'm telling you now, but we will be opening on time and moving everyone into the building on time. Got it? Okay. So with that being said, that's why I said manage your expectations, because I want you to know that up front. All right. And I don't want you to feel like we're janky when we get into the building and see your baby in the media center. But that's only for certain students. So parent peek-ins. So we're having a couple of events that will give you an opportunity to physically experience our new building. One is a grand opening. We don't have a date for that yet. So it says date TBA. We are trying to negotiate the best date. We're looking at AccuWeather, looking at the weather, trying to determine when it's going to be nice, because we would also like to have some like outside activities that would be fun for the children to participate in while you all are coming in and looking and visiting the rooms. We also want to make sure we have enough time for us to actually physically get in and set the building up so it is in the best shape for you to say, oh, this is, we want to have officials come, county people, the new superintendent. We're going to invite all of those people in for the grand opening. So that's going to be sometime in the fall, hopefully before. Okay, I'm saying this, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and don't hold me to it. Hopefully before the end of October. Okay. I didn't ask anybody about that date yet, so I may be, I don't want us to go into the winter not having had the grand opening, because if you go into the winter, you might as well wait until the spring. Who wants to do that? And then there will definitely be an opportunity for you to come in and visit us on Friday, August the 25th, which is our student orientation day. Now, again, manage your expectations, because there will be so many people who will want to come in physically. We may have to have you all come in cycles. Does that make sense? Do like a virtual presentation from administrators, and then one group of parents will come in from this time to this time, another group of parents come in from this time to this time, just so we won't have everybody in the building at the same time. But I need to talk with my logistics and operations person who is on the Zoom at the time, who's hearing this for the very first time ever. You see her laughing. She's like, let me write this down and come back and ask her about this later. I know what you're doing over there, Miss Reese. I see you. But Miss Reese is my logistics guru. Listen, if there is a puzzle to be solved, she can solve it. I just throw things out like, oh, Miss Reese, let's do Teacher Appreciation Week. She's like, okay. So if you saw any of our Teacher Appreciation Week pictures on any of our social media, Miss Reese was the one who came up with the theme. She told me what dress to buy for the uniform. She cuts things out and puts things together and makes little packages. Like, that's her thing. So so that's what the goal is I just have the big ideas and she makes it happen. So that is going to be Friday, August the 25th. And then we will have back to school nights. I hope you're writing this down, but you get it as well too. We will have back to school nights for kindergarten through 4th grade. It will be Tuesday, September 12th at 6:30 p.m. And then for our 5th through 8th grade students, it will be Thursday, September the 14th at 6:30 p.m. Now, for those of you all who may have students in both bands, I'm so sorry, but we can't do it all in one night. It's just impossible. Okay. Let's see. What's next? That's the same slide. Communication. So these are the people who are the most important people in your life between now and August the 28th. Because school does start August the 28th. Look at this slide. This is a mess. I'm going to fix that. So I have my information, of course, principal, I have my email address. Many of you all, well, you should have my email address by now because you got this invitation. But for me, I can answer any general administration questions. I am the K through 4th grade administrator as it relates to academics, discipline, and student support. Ms. Reese alluded to that earlier. So if you have a student in those grade bands, I'm the lead administrator. Does that mean that Ms. Reese does not get involved at all? Absolutely not. It's just that we are the people who kind of oversee those areas. When I say student support, I'm talking about students who have IEPs, students who have 504s, students that may need additional interventions, ESOL students, anything that go counseling, anything that goes in that student support family. I'm on the K through 4 side. Ms. Reese, our academic facilitator, her email is there as well. Again, any general administration questions. She does 5th through 8th grade administration in the same areas: academics, discipline, and student support. Okay. If baby had a rough time and we got to, make a phone call. We're not doing that with your kids, though. It's not your kid, but baby had a rough day today. You're going to get a call. More than likely, if your baby's in K through 4, you're going to get a call from me, but you might get a call from Ms. Reese. More than likely, if your baby's in 5 through 8, you'll get a call from Ms. Reese, but you might get a call from me, right? So it really just depends on a case-by-case basis, but generally that's how we try to divide the responsibilities up. Also, this one is a little bit more difficult to see, but this person you all have all spoken to, Miss Bennett White. She is our guidance secretary and registrar. Her email address is salita.bennettwhite@pgcps.org. And again, many of you have already spoken with her because you've had to get to this point. And so she probably is your best friend right now. But she does attendance. If you have a sick note, we're going to have a system for people to submit their sick notes so that everybody knows where everybody goes. That's the theme in my house. Everybody knows where everybody goes and everybody has access to knowing, what happened with the student for whatever reason they weren't able to be at school on that day or late or whatever the case may be. There's also Ms. Faye Rogers, who is our secretary too. I don't know what. Oh, you know what? Watch this. I'm going to tell you what happens. You see that? You see that? I made the other slide, but I forgot to delete them from the first slide. So again, Ms. Bennett White is responsible for enrollment, as you know, attendance, and any general information. She's usually the first person who answers the phone for general information questions. Ms. Rogers, who is our secretary too, is responsible for SchoolMax Family Portal. For those of you all who aren't familiar, we have a platform. You can go in and you can see all of the information for your student, including their grades, how they're doing their assignments, things of that nature. And there's a way for you to get into it, but sometimes parents have challenges. Sometimes they have an old account that needs to be reset. Ms. Rogers is that person who will reset that for you. And then also we have this lovely platform called School Messenger. And School Messenger is usually how you will receive, not usually, we use a couple different communications platforms, but School Messenger is the PGCPS foundational platform for communication. We also use Class Dojo, and that is primarily used by classroom teachers. We also put things on Dojo as well, just so we make sure that we cover all of our bases. Okay, but we communicate a number of different ways and try to make sure that you don't miss things. And then what's next? We are going to have a question and answer session. I would like some feedback from you all about what you want to know about like our next two sessions, what you think our next topic should be. So just hold on to that. We do have two upcoming sessions, one on July the 20th at 6:00 p.m. and one on August the 3rd at 6:00 p.m. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be fully fledged into onboarding teachers, getting, the building ready and things of that nature. So we're only going to be able to do 3 of these sessions, but definitely wanted to have this platform available for you all so that, if you had questions or things that you wanted to know or ways to kind of give feedback, then you would have an avenue for that. Okay. So now I'm going to go forward and then come back, because my next slide just says, thanks for coming and for being here. I'm gonna give you the thanks on the front end, but I do want to go back to the question and answer session. And then it's 7:03 now, so we'll probably spend about 15 minutes doing a Q&A, and then I would like to poll you guys in determining what you think the topic should be for the next 2 sessions. So if you have questions, I'm going to stop my share. You can share your questions in the chat. And then I'm going to start from where the questions begin and answer them here. Oh, we have some more hopes and dreams. Yay. Thank you, Kay. We appreciate that. All right, Ms. Pierre, no, all students, so the question Ms. Pierre has is about the start day for the first day. Everybody starts on the first day, which is August the 28th, kindergarten through 8th grade. Okay, everyone starts. Usually what happens is maybe around March. This is what we've done in the past. Again, we have new administration, so things might be a little different. Usually somewhere around March or April, a community survey will come out and will propose a school calendar for the upcoming year. And then they want people to vote on if you want to have this calendar that starts before Labor Day weekend with these holidays, or do you want to have this calendar that starts after Labor Day weekend with these holidays? And based on the feedback that they get from the community, that's when we start school. So this year we started before Labor Day. Praise God. I think last year we started before, but the year before that we started after. I think it was school year 21, 22. We started after, and it just drags the school year along. So just my personal request is that if you get that, please don't pick a calendar that starts after Labor Day. Lord, because the principal, well, anyway, I'm not going to tell you about my anniversary, how I'm trying to get on a plane at that time. So Ms. Bennett White has been wonderful. Thanks for your help. I'm going to send that to her so that she knows that you gave her that shout out. Thank you so much. How can I get an IEP done for this upcoming school year? Is there a way we can do it before actually school starts? No, we cannot do that before school because our teachers are not working this summer. That's one piece. However, we do know that at some schools, processes were started prior to the end of the school year. And so there are schools that are working on some things that were just left over from the previous year, doing those things through the summer, but we don't generally start a process during the summer because we don't have any data to start that. However, what I can do is meet with you personally and privately and talk about what the steps are so that if we feel like your student needs some additional support, we can make sure that they get the support and the interventions that they need. Okay. This question says, why is there no school bus transportation for students? Maryland state law states that no charter schools are responsible for transportation for students, that it is the responsibility of the parent to get them to and from school. So that is one of the reasons, if you look at any of the charter schools across the district, none of them provide transportation. None of the CMITs, Imagines, Legends, College Park, nobody does. Parents usually contract out with a private company or, based on their own, I see your hand here, based on their own schedules, they can do drop off and pick up. Oh, there's something I do need to show you. Ms. Tierra, go ahead and unmute and ask your question while I'm pulling this up.
The only question that I had is that my daughter went to Suitland Performing Arts Program, which is separate from Suitland High School.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she got transportation. So I'm confused as to why, because that is considered a charter school.
No, it's not. It's and Miss Reese has her hand raised because her daughter was in that program also. Suitland Performing Arts is a specialty school. So there are specialty schools and then there are charter schools. The specialty schools and the charter schools all do the lottery together at the same time. But charters and specialties, Suitland Performing Arts is a part of Suitland High School. It is a division. It's a program within the building, but it's not a separate school. So we have other specialty schools, Montessori schools, right? We have performing arts schools, we have immersion schools. Those are all considered PGCPS for real schools, but they are considered specialty, not charter. Ms. Reese, did you want to add anything?
No, you covered it. Okay, go ahead, Dance Mom. No, but you got it all. That was
okay.
it.
Thank you. So yes, so for specialty schools, students do get transportation. And then if you notice specialty schools, you'll see programming in all three regions of the district. There'll be a northern program, a central program, and a southern program for equity's sake, so that all students have access to those different programs, but that looks a little different, okay? But thank you for that question, I appreciate that. Oh, this is it. So I want you all to make sure that you apprise yourself of the website. I did make some updates over the weekend because I'm a mom too, and I do have a student, I have one student in Prince George's County Public Schools. I have one Prince George's County Public School student who goes to a non-public school in Baltimore. Every day, y'all play for me. But this is our website. And of course, it gives like general information. But over here where it says parents and interested families, you have your enrollment information, right? How do you get in? A lot of people have asked about before and after care. And I thought about that because of the transportation piece. So we do have, our charter operator does have a before and after care program that is on site. Mrs. Southern, the principal, you see Miss Reese, you know what I'm going to say, right? I do not run the before and after care program. I am not responsible for the before and after care program. When things happen in the before and after care program, I am not the person to take your concerns to, okay? It's just in my house. It's a renter, okay? But if you would like to be on our list, you can hit this enrollment form here. It will take you to a Google form that you will have to fill out for this school year. It says to register and confirm your spot. You see the and conjunction junction. What's your function? And you can register, but you won't confirm without the deposit, okay? So don't get caught up and you're like, oh, my baby's in aftercare, I filled out the form, but you didn't confirm with the deposit, so not so much, okay? All right, so that's where you can find information on our Before Aftercare program. This talks about the financial agreement, other forms that they have here, and a health form as well. So make sure that you take a look at that. This gives other information that you have to take a look at as well. And then the other piece, this is the most popular one. Somebody's like, I went on the website already. Oh my gosh. Down here, look at this, classroom supply list for school year 2024. Again, I'm a mommy. They just took the 4th of July stuff out and put the school stuff in. Educators don't like to see it. Mothers do. So if you click here, you will see our student supply list. You can access it using the link below. So when you come here, you go to our lovely and beautiful Google Sheet that has the supply list for each grade level. If you look at the bottom of the page, you can click on the grade level that is applicable for your little angel face, okay? Now down here at the bottom where it says donation wish list, these are not required items. However, these are things that we really want you to consider donating to the classroom, because it really helps us, especially in this post-COVID piece, as far as the disinfecting wipes. If but we don't want things to be a burden on parents, because we know we're asking you for certain things. And then the principal mommy also attempted to make things easier for you. So if a parent says, oh, what are blunt tip Fiskars brand scissors? What is she talking about? When I go out, I added a hyperlink for each item that it made sense to add a hyperlink to. So you could go to the Amazon page if you're an Amazoner, if you want to just take everything and put everything in your cart and buy everything at one time. You might have a coupon or whatever the case may be. You can do that, or you can come to the page, look at it, and say, Miss Southern, I'm gonna go to Target and I'm going to get it when those things go on sale at Target. It says Fiskars preferred, but you may not necessarily want to get Fiskars. You may just want to get blunt tip. As an educator, especially one who taught 5, 6, and 7-year-olds, Fiskars are the absolute positively best and will last you until Jesus comes back. I still have Fiskars scissors from my very first year teaching back in 1997 for my kindergartners. That's how long they last. And they also are left-handed, right-handed. So you don't have to worry about if the scissors, go left and right. The lists are here based, the things that we're asking for are here based on developmental levels. You will also notice, like for here, I did not add a hyperlink because, backpacks, that's kind of up to you. Somebody asked me about rolling backpacks. We prefer that you not have rolling backpacks. We prefer that you not have rolling backpacks. Also for the 2-pocket heavy duty plastic folders, when I go to the link for that, it's usually like you can only get like 10. I'm like, no, they only need 2. So I didn't want to put that link there. So, but you know where to find them. Everything else, for the most part, there's a hyperlink so that you can see what the items are or kind of get an idea. Ticonderoga pencils are like A1. Again, that's another one preferred. Crayola, Ticonderoga, Fiskars. You'll see some of those Elmer's, right? Some of those brands that you don't have to, if you get the Rose Art crayons, I promise you're going to be buying some more before the end of the school year. This is one that's important. Composition notebooks. Remember I said that we wanted to ensure that our students are writing. So we did have composition notebooks for each developmental level. So if you go again to this hyperlink for our primary students, we have composition notebooks that have like a line top, there's like a space for a picture at the top, and then the primary lines at the bottom, right? I put this one is specific because people have a hard time finding the one that you're looking for. If you get it in the 4-pack, you can have one for each of the subjects that you need, because they'll be writing across subject areas. Headphones, children need their own headphones. If you get a pair, you may not get this pair, but I just wanted you to see them. You may want to get yours from Five Below. That's where we get them from my son. We get them like 5 at a time, $25, pow. And then we just replenish as needed. Uniform clothes, again, for the little ones, we do need a change of clothes just in case there's an accident. Our little ones do, K-2, do have bathrooms in the classrooms, but they still have a difficult time navigating when to go use the bathroom. In your house, there's probably 3 or 4 bathrooms per 4 to 5 people. In a classroom, there's 1 bathroom for 25 people. And so understanding how to time it out, it doesn't always work out, and we have accidents, or there's a mess, or whatever the case may be. A sketchbook, this was requested by the art teacher, but that's an example as well. And athletic shoes, when it's time for them to have PE, that's there. They should wear on the day of the class, so you can look at your school student schedule to find out when they have PE so that they can have athletic shoes, not sandals. We're not supposed to have open-toe shoes. Lord, please, for the love of all that is holy, do not send your students to school in Crocs. No Crocs, Crocs, no Crocs. No Crocs in the schoolhouse. They are not safe. They are a risk for falls and injuries, and Ms. Southern does not want to get sued. No Crocs. Okay, so first grade, similar items. Second grade, things start to change a little bit. Third grade, again. In third grade, you also see the addition of a student planner. Someone asked about this, and I just put the page here because you can decide what works best for your student. Having them have a planner so they can write their homework down each day. So when they come home, you can say, what do you have for homework today? And you can physically and visually see what it is that they have. We're starting that in third grade. We're bringing it back. Okay. What's different? Fourth grade. Also in third grade, a binder, right? We recommend a zippered or a snap binder, but they can be expensive too. So we're just saying a binder, but if it is a zippered or a snap binder, then things will stay inside a lot more easily and they can stay more organized. We're really trying to push organization this year. All right. Fourth grade, you start getting more detailed, especially when it comes to some of the measurement tools, a ruler and a protractor, some black Sharpies, but a lot of the things are repeats, but then you see also that the composition books are different in this grade as well. The same thing, fifth grade, you get a little bit more advanced, some shifts. Sixth grade, this is what I do want you guys to see. Is it sixth grade, 7th and 8th? In sixth grade, we're asking students to have a Spanish to English dictionary because they will start taking graded Spanish. Everyone has Spanish, but you get Spanish for a grade beginning in sixth grade, if that makes sense. And then for 7th and 8th grade, notice this, scientific calculator. Okay, they will need that for mathematics. All right, so again, you can access this list on our website. And then I'm going to stop my share. Okay, so that was a little bit of a jump away from that. Let's go to the questions. Again, I know some people are dropping out. It's okay because we're recording the session. What is the class size for first grade? Maximum 25 students per class in every grade, except kindergarten. The maximum size is 22 to 23. Okay. What are the school day hours? Oh, I wrote them down. We did have a 7:40 for elementary students. All students come in the door at 7:40. Elementary students will dismiss at at 2:05, and middle school students will dismiss at 2:30. Okay, back to school night for sixth grade is Thursday, September the 14th. Do the kid, one more question. Supplies. Prince George's County Public Schools has mandated that all middle school students have clear backpacks. Clear, it says clear or mesh, but clear. So in that supply list, there is a hyperlink to a clear backpack. Now put that one there specifically. Again, you can pick whichever one you want. I put that one there because that is the one that my ruffian ninth grader, not right now, you can put it, ninth grader going to the 10th grade used last year when he was in high school. We did one and I had to get him another one in March, but it pretty much lasted the whole year. It's very durable. I recommend it as a mom. So it's something that if you want something that's gonna last, you definitely want to get that. But our middle schoolers do have lockers, but this is something that is being implemented as well. All right, do the kids need to have all black shoes? Yes, that is a part of our uniform policy. Do the uniform shirts have the school logo on it? No, it does not. Miss Bennett White is awesome. She's my hero. I'm going to send that to her as well. What is the link for the uniforms? That's on the same website under the parents, that drop-down menu. It says uniform policy. When you click on it, you'll see the uniforms, but elementary school bottoms are navy blue, K through 5. Middle school 6 through 8, bottoms are tan or khaki, right? So that's the foundation. Pants, skirts, shorts, skirts, whatever you decide to do. Then there's a different colored shirt for each grade. So you ready? Kindergarten and 5th grade, burgundy shirts. 1st grade, yellow shirts. 2nd and 7th grade, light blue shirts. 3rd grade, red like a lollipop shirts. 4th grade, navy blue shirts. 6th grade, white shirts. And 8th grade, black shirts. Now, I know it was a lot, but again, if you go to the website, you'll see all of those for the grade levels. Miss Reese, I see your hand. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just want to share that the cheapest place to buy the shirts are either Old Navy, Children's Place, or Walmart. If you catch them on sale, you can get the shirts, depending on the size of your child. Let me say that. You can get them from $3 to $5. So you just have to keep looking, sign up, just in case, there are like different coupons that come out and things as such. But I know for me over the years, those have been my 3 go-to. And I have one kid at Excel now and one that came through Excel. So I've been shopping that way for a long time. That way I'm able to get multiple ones, but look for it because it comes very soon.
That is correct. So in some of the places already have the uniforms out. Target put their uniforms out as well. Like they're already out. And I think those were out before the 4th of July, and I felt some kind of way about that. But there's a question in the chat about transportation. And so I'm going to put that here. This is just coming straight from my newsletter that I sent out. So that link will take you to the information for A&K transportation. That is still in effect. There is a route. I don't have the details on that, but that is the information. The route pretty much goes from central Prince George's County down to the southern part of the county. There is, last I saw, there was a stop at the Oxon Hill Library, but I'm not as familiar with the route. I'm a little bit more removed from it right now, so I can't say. Okay. Let me go back up. Let me go back up. Transportation. Okay, we talked about before and after care. Class sizes, we talked about. When will we know what class teachers students are assigned to? That usually shows up in School Max maybe a couple days before school starts. So I'm not sure, they haven't given us the date that that's going to be released as of yet, but that will be coming before school actually starts, because it's important for you to know. You'll definitely know before orientation, as long as you're registered, which all of you are. So you'll know before orientation. How can you sign up before and after care on the website? We talked about that. Before and after care, will you use the same Zoom link for the next meeting? I'm not sure, because I had the calendar just create a repeat event. And so I'm not sure if the Zoom link is the same, because I didn't create one Zoom link for all of the sessions. So what I will do is, just like I did today, I'll send an email out, and the email will have the Zoom link for that meeting, and all you'll need to do is just click on it, but I'm not certain. Someone asked, how much is it per child? Before and after care usually is commensurate with the Maryland Park and Planning before and after care. So that's like $75, $77 a week, something like that. Again, I don't know that part, but if you click on, I think once you go into the platform and start filling your information in, that information, exact price does come up. Okay. Does the dress code permit students to wear sweaters or zip up hoodies? Miss Reese, let's talk about the hoodie situation.
No hoodies at all. Hoodies are really not supposed to be worn in Prince George's County Public Schools, period. They are a hazard, really. There's been times where incidents, not at Excel, have happened, and somebody has snatched somebody by their hoodie. There should be no hoodies. If they wear a sweater, it should be a sweater. That's part of the uniform policy. Solid blue, solid black. I would warn against white, because we know how white looks after a while. Solid blue, solid black. It should be buttoned up. And I would suggest for something like that you get it at the beginning of the school year when it's cheaper. And like I said, I bought plenty of sweaters as well. But the students try to wear a hoodie and say, I'll just tuck it in. No, we don't want you to even have to worry about tucking it in and a hunchback going on back there, and then you forget, and then you want to put the hood on. No hoodies at all. Especially middle school.
Especially middle school. Please just work with us with the hoodie thing. And it should be solid. Now, graphics are not a part of our uniform policy, graphic hoodies. And I know it is difficult at times, especially if you get to a certain part of the year. That's why Ms. Reese is encouraging you to do it earlier, okay? Will communication be sent to the parents who signed up for before and after care? If they are selected, yes. I will make sure, I don't know what that date is. I will talk with our charter operator and see if we can get some additional information on that, so that they can send like a little tickler out and say, thank you for being on our list. We'll send you information later when they have more information, just to keep you in the loop. This question says, if an IEP is already in place for Prince George's County Public Schools, does that follow him? Yes, an IEP is a federally mandated document that follows your child wherever they go, state to state in these 50 United States, particularly in Prince George's County. We're all in the same platform. In the state of Maryland, we're all in the same platform. So yes, the accommodations and modifications that were put in place will still be applicable here at Excel Academy. What we do want to, again, manage expectations. Because we are a charter school, we always have to tell parents, we are not your child's least restrictive environment. And so when your student has been diagnosed with a disability, they have the right to be in school in their least restrictive environment. When you select to put your child in a charter school, then you're saying, I know my child has the right to be in their least restrictive environment, but I want them to be here where they can continue to get services. That being stated, our service model generally is able to support students who have 10 hours or less of needed service hours per week, which is 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. If your child has an IEP that requires more than 10 hours, you have to really determine if Excel is the best, or any charter school is the best model for your child. Again, example, I have a child, I told you I send him up to Baltimore for school every day. He gets 22 and a half IEP service hours per week. He would not ever be able to go to Excel Academy because he wouldn't get everything that he needed. And I could say, yes, I'm going to, give up my 22 and a half hours so he can just get the 10 at Excel, but that would be like me taking my high blood pressure pill and cutting it in half every day and only taking a half and expecting for my blood pressure to still stay low. It's not the best intervention for the need. Okay, so really take a look at your child's IEP. You should have a copy of it electronically or a hard copy, and see in the service hours what it says as far as the number of service hours for your student. If you need some support with that, please let me know and we will be happy to help. Okay. What else? I told you I'm gonna stay here as long as we can. IEP. Thank you, Ms. Broussard. Will there be a requirement for see-through clear backpacks? Yep, we talked about that. Is there a community? Yes, I didn't talk about this. This question says, is there a community service requirement before high school now for middle schoolers? And will opportunities be available through the school? Yes and yes. Our students, when they leave 8th grade, when they are a Prince George's County Public Schools student, they're required to have 8 of their 24 required student service hours completed before they go to high school. That being stated, there are multiple opportunities that we offer. We have 4 pillars, and one of our pillars is community partnerships. We have a food pantry that comes in monthly. We have some of our middle schoolers that work with the food pantry. We give students opportunities to do other things that are service oriented so that they can get those credit hours. So yes, we do work with them, but our 5th through 8th grade guidance counselor, Ms. Ruffin, she's amazing, and she's always looking for opportunities to give students chances to get those hours in. Some of them require that they do some things at home, so you might have to monitor it to make sure that they get it done, because some of them are asynchronous, but we do give those opportunities to them so that they can have it completed. Especially, and you can start now in the 6th grade. If your child is in 6th grade, if they're home for the summer, any type of service that they can give to a nonprofit organization. If you reach out to me, because Ms. Ruffin isn't working right now, reach out to me and say, hey, Ms. Southern, my son wants to volunteer at the shelter. Can he Yes, get someone to sign off on it, bring the paper in, however many hours it is, we can go with it. But definitely, we want to make sure that they have that opportunity. For those who have siblings and are still waiting for placement, when should we hear back regarding their placement? I'm gonna get back to you, Miss Erilyn, because I know I emailed you today, okay? How do you get on the website? I'm gonna just drop the link here so you can have direct access to it. We talked about the clear backpacks. Are they supplied with a laptop? Yes. We do provide laptops for our students. We are a one-to-one school, and students, if they have a PGCPS laptop right now, they can bring it with them. If they were somewhere else and do not have a PGCPS laptop, then we will give them a laptop that most likely is an Excel device, but it may be a PGCPS device. If it is an Excel device, when your child leaves our school, they will have to return it to us. If it's a Prince George's County Public School device, they take it with them wherever they go until they stop being a part of the school system. Okay. www. And here we go. And this is the link to the website. Boom. Okay. All right. Very true. Sketchbooks and composition books with unused pages. I don't want you to have to spend a whole bunch of extra money. If you already have a sketchbook that your child has and they haven't used it, or it's relatively new, please feel free to reuse. What type of shoes do they have to wear in middle school? We talked about all black. We talked about book bags, no hoodies. Shein, I don't know what that reference is. I missed it.
That was for uniform shirts.
Oh, they have them too?
Oh, I haven't looked, but the parent is saying so.
Okay, look at that. Places don't have burgundy. Okay. Grandson leaves larger shorts. I put Ms. Waterman's information in. Topics for next meeting. Feel free to go ahead and put the next meeting topic suggestions in the chat as well. No pullover sweater. If it doesn't have a hood, that's the important part, right? If it doesn't have a hood, if it doesn't have a zipper, because guess what happens? Injuries, cut, blood, danger, Will Rogers, please, no. Okay. Early and late stay, that's a question you'll have to ask the operator. Is Excel still hiring? Yes, we are. We are. Send me an inbox and tell me what you're thinking. And I think that's the last question in the chat. Again, please feel free to put suggestions in. I know it's 7:38. I appreciate those of you all who could stay, but if you can't, I get it. It's okay. Again, I'm recording this, so this will be available for everyone. Ms. Reese, I see your hand, but I see Ms. Goodman Turner's hand. So I'm gonna ask her to unmute first, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you. Ms. Goodman Turner.
Yes, I have a question. My daughter, she's going into first grade with the Chromebook situation. She was given an iPad for kindergarten, pre-K through kindergarten. So
Gotcha.
what do we do for that
So
situation?
you're gonna have to return the iPad back to the school that you're leaving,
Okay,
and they will clear her so that she can get a Chromebook with us.
okay,
Because we had a situation like that last year where a student came to us with with an iPad, and the other school was like, we need our iPad back because it does belong, it belongs to the school district, but we use Chromebooks from kindergarten through 8th grade. We did the iPads once and it just became too much to manage. They're going to this and now we're going to switch. No, if the babies learn, if you make the expectation, you give the babies Chromebooks at the beginning of their school careers, guess what they're going to learn to do? Use them.
Oh, I don't have an issue with her with learning anything. She's
Yeah, absolutely.
quick pick up, so I don't have no issue with that. I'm just wondering.
Absolutely. Yeah, you should return it back to your former school.
Okay,
Okay, and call the office to find out what would be a good time and have them give you some type of receipt or note
gotcha.
or documentation stating that you returned it, because summer staff and returning staff, the person who's managing technology might not be there, and so you just don't want anything to kind of trip you up in the meantime. Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Ms. Reese?
One, I just want to thank Ms. Goodman Turner, because I sat here for a long time and I wrote down one thing and I could not for the life of me remember what the second thing was. But it was important, but I couldn't even remember it. So the backpacks are that Ms. Southern sent the link for on Amazon. Please make sure you're looking carefully at the measurements for the backpack. I have girls. I was like, oh, that pink backpack is cute. Oh, let me get that one. Just now I'm looking at it and I realized that the sizes are different. So the sizes closer to the left are the larger ones, and then the closer to the right are the smaller ones. However, there is a $3 coupon there right now, and it probably won't last long. So that was the first thing. And of course, Monique done forgot. Oh, the sketchbook. That was the second thing. You can find sketchbooks also at Five Below. So take a look there, and they are of quality. I have one in here that likes to draw. They are of quality. So just take a look there if you don't want to get like one that costs a lot or you think that they won't use it. But yes, those are my two things.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. How do transitions work to keep the younger students separated from the older students? For the most part, it's not an issue. Of course, we're going into a new building, so we're going to have to set up some systems and structures to make that work. When they're coming in the mornings, we usually try to gradually, let the students in, the students come in, and then the older, but we're in a new building. So right now we don't have that structure in place, but we are very intentional about doing everything that we can to keep our bigger kids and our younger kids separated. In some spaces it didn't work, but we were in a much smaller building before. It's going to just look a little different. So I don't have an exact answer for that question, but do know that we are intentional about making sure that they are separated. They don't use the same bathrooms, things of that nature, and definitely not at the same time. Okay. Will they use the same logins from the previous school? Yes, same logins and same lunch numbers if they had one at their previous school. So go back and find it and see if you can get that information. You also have lunch information on that same website that I showed you all under parent info. You can find our school menu there as well. You can find out how to put your child's money on their lunch account. Again, I load my child's lunch account up. I just put X amount of dollars on at a time, and then I have it set to give me an alarm when he gets to within $10 so I can reload it, because mommy's not thinking about that and he's just, shoveling food down his throat, right? But you can also send your children in with money, but my child forgets things. So I would rather just have the money on the account and they deduct. Please know, parents, that if your child's lunch money is going to go faster if they purchase snacks. Sometimes there are chips available, things like that. They're buying chips. And the parents are like, listen, lunch is $3 a day. I put $30 in, it's been 10 days. Why is the money gone already? Because they bought chips every day, and the chips are like $1 a bag. I mean, whatever that looks like. So please make sure that you have that conversation about snacks if you choose to, you don't want your child to dip into the snack that's going to deplete the finances a little bit more quickly. Okay. Can incoming new parents sign up for a School Max account now? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's still down for parents.
Family portal is still down. It's not open, so you wouldn't even be able to access it at this point. For free and reduced lunch, so you wouldn't give that to us, but the people who work in nutrition services had that information already online. So you hold on to it and keep it for your own documentation, but it's already embedded, in our system online through our food and nutrition services. Ms. Goodman Turner, come on with the good questions. What you got?
I'm a lunch lady for the school system. I might be working there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for the parents, I was wondering if your money is depleting, and if you don't want your money to deplete, please let the staff members know my child's only allowed to buy X, Y, and Z. So we would know. Say no, mom and dad say no, you can't have, or you're only allowed to spend a certain amount per day. So it won't be a big shock.
Got you. And is that something that you all put as a notation in the student's account, or how does that?
We can.
Okay.
We can.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because I know that became an issue last year. And then sometimes the other piece that happens, thank you, Ms. Goodman Turner. Sometimes what happens is you aren't necessarily expecting your child to purchase lunch, but it's pizza day. Or it's Miss Southern's favorite food day, oven fried chicken. That's my favorite. Miss Goodman Turner, just let you know, put my little chicken leg aside,
But
okay?
I'm a thing. You want to eat, you're gonna eat. I don't care. If you got no money, not money. If you see you want extra chicken leg, I'm gonna give you extra chicken leg. I'm not that type of. I don't know who the manager gonna be, but if you want a little, if the baby comes and say I'm still hungry, I'm gonna feed the baby.
I
So,
appreciate that. We appreciate that. Me and Miss Reese love you already.
yeah,
But on certain days, they may want, and they go through the line without telling you. And then we have to send something saying, hey, your child is $30 in the hole, because there's an account that we can pull money over so that it's covered. But at the same time, you still have to pay that money back. Well, my child doesn't buy lunch. Yeah, take a look at the statement. And you
right.
can go back and see when that child actually did make those purchases.
But
So
you want to eat, you gonna eat.
you want to eat. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so almost done. Thank you, Ms. Goodman Turner. Can the clear book bag also be a colored clear bag? Like if it's pink and colored, that's a little bit more nuanced. I don't know that I even thought about that. So, and it's not.
Can I say something? I'm sorry. I
Yes,
didn't feel like I didn't want to type it. It's too long.
it's
I
okay.
have seen clear that, I mean, it's clear, you can see through it, but like they're a light blue. It's a solid color, but it's clear. So are we talking about clear, like as in white? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Regular
Yeah.
clear.
Should it be like a tint, or can it be like a tint?
Right.
A colored
Right.
tint.
Yes.
I hadn't even thought about that, Miss Sonia.
So
I'm
what they're
sorry.
showing, Ms. Sutton and Ms. Sonia, is a whole slew of them on the site that you sent. That's what made me realize that they're different sizes. Because I said, oh, she'll like this one, which was a pink one. Well, I proved myself wrong because she came down here and she told me no, the black one. But you could still see through all of them.
Okay.
Really good. And I look at the book bags. They all work perfectly fine. What you have put on the link, and there's some
What
that
is that
have
link?
a
Is that
little
link?
color. Say
Is
it
that
again,
link
dear.
in the list?
Yes, the school supplies.
Okay.
So you'll see light pink. You'll see a blue. One was tan, but
Okay.
the plastic is still clear.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
No
You're welcome.
worries. Thank you. I think those are all of the questions that we've had so far, and it is 7:49. So I don't want to hold you guys too long. I feel like I've held you for a long time already, but I definitely appreciate your, giving us some questions to think about and to make sure that we address. Thank you for those of you all who submitted topics for discussion for the next meeting. Is there an orientation for parents who are new to the district? Yes, that orientation is the parent orientation day on August the 25th. That's for all, all new parents. And we're just going to open it up for everybody because pretty much most of the building will be new. Someone asked about if we're still hiring. Yes, again, with managing expectations, we are about 67% of our students coming to the new building will be new to Excel. So we're gonna have to do a lot of work around creating community and making sure that everybody is used to we're bringing our culture over. How do we do things? We do things Excel way. We're family, we're brothers and sisters, we're aunties and uncles. We're gonna love you up. We might fuss at you, but I'm gonna love you later on and see you in the hallway and make sure you're okay, right? But there's still a level of excellence that we're looking for our students to demonstrate, but doing that in a way so that students know that they're cared for, that they feel valued, and that they have a voice. Don't apologize, Ms. Sonia. Don't apologize. We appreciate it. We like questions. Things for parents to remember, just basic communication. If you have an issue with the teacher, contact the teacher. Because guess what? If you contact the principal and say, hey, Miss Southern, I had an issue, teacher said A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z, I'm going to say, did you contact the teacher? And if you say, no, you didn't contact the teacher, I'm going to say, email the teacher, let me know how it works out. Because it's going to save you a step in between if you go to the person first, right? And it's going to help you build a stronger relationship with that teacher as well. So that we will definitely have that orientation. We'll talk about, we'll, update you on some things because there'll be some developments that have happened between then and now. I talked to you about new students, but we also have a large number of new staff that are transitioning in, not necessarily new to teaching, but new to the building. So again, like I said, manage your expectations. Everybody's coming together. When I used to teach kindergarten, I always told people I felt that the responsibility of, Ms. Glenn, we can get that for you. The responsibility of the kindergarten teacher was to bring everybody to the carpet and so that everybody is on the same page. Because when we bring children in, we have children that are coming from daycare centers. We have children that are coming from home childcare. We're having children that were at home with grandma watching Young and the Restless. We have children coming from all different environments. As the teacher, it's my job to bring everybody to the same page so that we're all moving forward together in this space of learning. And I feel that that is our responsibility this year as we're all converging from these different places and moving to becoming one school community. And this is going to be our first year with doing this. So you're actually on the ground floor of something major and something historic, right? You're making history as the first families in this new building. That's something for you to be proud of, right? And so I want to thank you again for trusting us with your babies. We want to thank you for trusting us with their futures. We're going to promise to do everything that we can to make sure that we give them the best educational product that we can possibly give them. Got it? Again, if you need us, you know how to reach out and contact us. I'll be sharing this link a little bit later on. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.